The Lost Colony of Roanoke is one of the most notorious mysteries in American history. Bizarre cryptic clues left at the abandoned settlement and the lack of any real concrete evidence have made for wild and speculative theories. The 118 colonists were not the first settlers to the New World. In 1585, Sir Walter Raleigh, who was favored by Queen Elizabeth I, possibly due to their alleged love affair, was granted permission to send an expedition to North America. Their main goals included exploiting valuable resources and laying English claim to the New World. The first colonists came to Roanoke Island, North Carolina. They made a temporary settlement and started to build Fort Raleigh. Suddenly, a valuable silver cup had disappeared. They suspected a Native American man had stolen it. English laws did not apply to him, so they went to his village and burned it to the ground. The colonists were unfamiliar with the land and lacked survival skills. They looked to the Secatan Indians for help. A chief named Wingina agreed to share food with them. He then wanted the colonists to give the Secatans weapons so that they would have an advantage over their enemy tribes. The colonists did not want to get involved. Wingina then stopped getting them food. The governor of the colony, Ralph Lane, was upset and started taking native hostages to get Wingina to give some food over. Wingina became mad and plotted to attack the colonists. The plot was revealed by one of the hostages. Governor Lane decided to act first. He attacked their village and murdered Wingina. This created tensions between the colonists and the Native Americans. The Spanish and English were at war, so the colonists were fearful of passing Spanish ships. That, along with increased tensions, caused them to quicken their departure. A second attempt to colonize North America took place in 1587. John White was chosen to be the governor of the new colony. He brought 118 colonists. Most recruited for this trip were from London and went to the colony because of their Puritan beliefs, as they wanted to bring their faith to the native peoples. While there, John White's daughter, Eleanor Dare, gave birth to Virginia Dare, the first English child born in the Americas. The settlement was in need of supplies and manpower. A few days after his granddaughter's birth, White left for England. He was delayed by England's war with Spain. It was 3 years before he was able to return. He came back only to find his settlement empty. His wife, child, and grandchild had all vanished. The words Croatoan and the letters C-R-O were carved into the trees within the colony's borders. These were the only signs pointing to any explanation. The settlement was desolate and disheveled. Despite the clues, the returning crew was unable to search for missing colonists. A storm appeared just as they came upon the desolate settlement, which forced them to go back to England. So what happened to the colonists? Many theories have been given to explain their disappearance. One of the most popular and well-accepted theories is that the colonists traveled to Croatoan and assimilated with them. Because of the mysterious tree carvings, the nearby Croatoan island, now known as Hatteras, is the location to which many believe the colonists moved. Many items have been recently found at the site where they believed they had gone. English pottery, flintlocks, and tools that the colonists might have taken with them. Around 1700, a man named John Lawson visited the descendants of the Croatoan called the Lumbee. They had bluish-gray eyes, lighter hair, spoke, read, and wrote English perfectly. Also, before John White's departure from Roanoke in 1587, the colonists told him that they're going to move 50 miles inland. Hostile Native Americans controlled that area. They might have killed the men and taken the women and children as slaves. Another theory is that the Roanoke settlers were seen by the Spanish and fell victim to their enemies. The Spanish, whose settlement was just down the coast in Florida, were at war with the English. It's certain that the Spanish in the West Indies were aware of the English colonists' presence. One of the original Roanoke settlers had admitted that he told the Spanish officials the location of the Roanoke settlement. Another theory is that the colonists were murdered. Captain John Smith of Jamestown met Pocahontas' father, Chief Powhatan. He informed them that the Roanoke colonists had been on his land, and he claimed to have killed them to prevent more colonists from coming to the New World. Allegedly, Powhatan showed Smith a musket barrel and a brass and mortar pestle as proof of what he had done. One of the weirdest theories yet is the word Croatoan. Croatoan has been connected with other mysterious happenings over the centuries. Supposedly, when Edgar Allan Poe passed away, it is said that the last words he spoke were Croatoan. Poe's official cause of death is still unknown. Likewise, Black Bart, the famous stagecoach robber, carved the word into the wall of his cell before being released from prison. He was never seen or heard from again. Also, the word Croatoan was supposedly found in Amelia Earhart's journal after she disappeared in 1937. The most gruesome theory of all is cannibalism. Either the people of Roanoke were the victims of cannibals, or they had to resort to it to stay alive. Other Native American tribes were hostile to outsiders, and they weren't on good terms with the settlers or the Croatoans. One of these groups could have been cannibals. There were never any bodies found at the settlement, but that doesn't mean a thing. The bones could have been ground into powder and used for healing remedies. A spooky theory is witchcraft. The Croatoan tribe believed witches could inhabit both men and women. It is possible that the Croatoan either executed the colonists as witches, or stranger yet, the colonists could have become victims of witches who lived in the North Carolina woods. The last theory could be the Dare Stones. A series of stones were discovered between 1937 and 1940. The first one was found by a tourist. They supposedly tell the story of what happened to the Roanoke colonists. They're called the Dare Stones because they're apparently written by John White's daughter, Eleanor Dare. Most historians consider the Dare Stones a hoax, although now many believe the first stone to be authentic. The Lost Colony of Roanoke has intrigued both young and old all around the world. Its mystery will probably never be solved. Well, thanks so much for watching. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos just like this one.